Have you ever noticed that when you spend time with someone, you start crossing your arms when they do? Or you catch their accent creeping into your own voice after a long phone call? You didn't decide to do that. Nobody told you to. It just happened. This is one of the strangest things about being human. We copy each other constantly, almost always, without realizing it's happening. Once you understand why, you'll start noticing it everywhere, in your friendships, your workplace, even in arguments with people you disagree with. Section 1, the chameleon effect. Let's start with the science. In the late 1990s, psychologists Tanya Chartrand and Bargh ran a study that became famous in social psychology. Participants sat with a partner, secretly working with the researchers, and completed a simple task together. The partner would occasionally shake a foot or rub their face. Without exception, participants started mirroring those same movements, and not one of them noticed it happening. Chartrand and Bargh called this the chameleon effect, our tendency to unconsciously mimic the postures, gestures, and mannerisms of people around us. Here's the part that matters most. Mimicry wasn't random. The participants who liked their partner more, or who wanted the interaction to go smoothly, mimicked more. This wasn't just a quirky reflex. It was doing something for them socially, and their brain ran the program without asking for permission. Section 2, mirror neurons. So why would our brains be wired this way? One answer comes from the discovery of mirror neurons in the 1990s. A finding from neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti and his team in Italy. They found brain cells that fire both when an animal performs an action and when it simply watches another animal perform that same action. Watching becomes a kind of internal rehearsal. Your brain doesn't just observe someone reaching for a cup, it partially simulates reaching for that cup itself. Researchers still debate how much mirror neurons explain about human imitation, but the basic pattern holds across dozens of studies. Observing an action activates some of the same neural machinery as before. This is why mimicry feels so awkward. Your brain is already halfway to doing the action as you're watching it. Copying isn't extra effort. Not copying would actually take more. Section 3, mimicry as social glue. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Mimicry isn't just about movement, it's about bonding. Psychologist Cialdini's research indicates that we're persuaded by people who are so similar to us. Mimicry creates that sense of similarity instantly, beneath conscious awareness. In Chartrand and Bargh's study, participants who were mimicked more also liked their partner more and rated the interaction as smoother. The mimicry wasn't a side effect of liking someone. It was actively building liking. This is sometimes called social mirroring. When two people unconsciously sync their body language and speech patterns, it creates a felt sense of connection before either person consciously registers why. Anthropologists have long noted similar synchrony in rituals and dance across cultures. Coordinated movement seems to be one of the oldest tools humans have for building group cohesion. Section 4, why you catch accents. This same mechanism explains something else. Why you start talking like the people you spend the most time with. Linguists call this phenomenon linguistic accommodation. When you move to a new region or spend a summer with friends from another country, your vocabulary, rhythm, and even your accent can shift. Not because you're trying to fit in, but because your brain is unconsciously aligning with the speech patterns around you. Communication researchers have found this kind of vocal mimicry happens within minutes of conversation, often without either speaker noticing. Section 5, the evolutionary why. So why doesn't evolution just let us stay exactly as we are, instead of constantly reshaping ourselves around other people? Because for most of human history, fitting in wasn't optional, it was survival. Humans are an intensely social species. Being cast out of a group could mean losing protection, resources, and the chance to find a mate. Unconsciously syncing with others was a fast way of signaling, I am one of you, you can trust me. A brain that had to consciously calculate every social signal would be too slow. Automatic mimicry skips straight to the behavior. This also explains something that might feel uncomfortable. We don't just copy gestures and accents. We copy attitudes, opinions, and even moods. Researchers studying emotional contagion, a term used by psychologist Elaine Hatfield and colleagues, have found that emotions spread between people, much like a yawn spreads across a room. Spend time around someone anxious, and you may start to feel a flicker of that anxiety yourself. Spend time around someone calm and steady, and that tends to rub off too. Section 6. What to do with this. So what do you actually do with this information? First, notice it without judging yourself for it. Mimicry isn't a character flaw. It's a deeply built-in feature of being a social animal. You're not fake for adjusting to the room. You're human. Second, pay attention to who you're around most. If unconscious copying is constantly happening, then the people and environments you surround yourself with are quietly shaping your habits, your mood, and even your opinions. Choosing your environment is, in a real sense, choosing who you slowly become. And third, you can use this consciously and ethically. Mirroring someone's tone in a difficult conversation isn't manipulation. It's working with how human connection actually functions at a neurological level. We like to think of ourselves as fully independent, self-directed people. But the truth is messier and more beautiful. We are constantly shaping each other in small, invisible ways every time we're in a room together. You are, quite literally, a reflection of the people you spend your life around. So the next time you catch yourself crossing your arms just because someone else did, don't worry about it. That's not a flaw in your wiring. That's just what it looks like to be deeply, irreversibly human. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications.